Rising consumer prices and supply chain problems, Americans are seeing increasing costs for food, energy, and housing.
Months of 2025, bold promises echoed from Washington about a self-reliant America, free from the grip of foreign supply. That vision has already collided with reality. A sweeping executive order has rolled back tariffs on key imports like nickel, graphite, and pharmaceuticals, signaling that US industry cannot yet carry the full load on its own.
In the first part of the video, it explains that America at this moment is not fully sufficient. The country still depends heavily on the other nations for the parts and resources in its industries. President Trump says that in the short term, America will have to live with this higher cost of living. But in the long run, he believes that it will benefit the country. The big question, however, is whether the US can truly compete with China's pricing and when, if ever, those prices will come down.
In early 2025, the administration that once declared America would stand tall without foreign supply has shifted its course. A sweeping executive order has slashed duties on dozens of essential imports, reversing the hardline stance that defined the past year. More than 45 categories of goods have been carved out, ranging from nickel and gold to pharmaceutical compounds, specialized magnets, and even industrial LEDs vital for clean energy. The White House now admits that domestic industry cannot yet shoulder the full weight of modern demand. But the exemptions are not open invitations. They are bargaining chips, extended only to partners willing to strike reciprocal deals. For automakers whose supply chains depend on these exact resources, survival depends on where their governments stand in this trade shuffle. The policy reversal lays bare the tension between political slogans and industrial realities, raising deeper questions about how reliant America has become on the rest of the world. The roots of this shift lie in an undeniable fact.
We also need to remember that the America we see today are largely built by foreigners over the decades. Now, under the slogan of America First, immigration is being restricted. Yet, in critical sectors like healthcare, the country still relies on foreign doctors and nurses. This raises an important question. Do we have enough Americans to replace the skilled workforce that keeps the nation moving? With the declined birth rate, can America sustain its own growth? Even with the new visa fee, some reported as high as $100,000. Will there be enough people willing to come to build a nation?
The country consumes far more raw material than it can produce. Minerals, metals, and compounds form the backbone of nearly every modern industry, and the gap between demand and domestic supply has only widened. The auto sector reveals this dependency most clearly. Electric vehicles, hailed as the future of transportation, require massive volumes of materials like graphite and nickel. Yet America produced none of the 52,000 tons of natural graphite it consumed in 2024. Every ounce came from abroad, with China controlling over 90% of global processing capacity. Even when the raw graphite originates outside China, it often passes through Chinese plants before reaching American manufacturers. Nickel follows a similar path. A single Michigan mine contributes modestly, while recycling offers some relief, but the overwhelming bulk comes from allies like Canada and Australia, with most processing handled offshore. The auto industry, which has been battered harder than any other sector by shifting tariffs. Vehicles rely on thousands of parts, many of which cross borders multiple times before a finished model reaches a showroom. Every new levy compounds the cost. Translated to the consumer level, that is about $5,000 tacked onto every American-made car and over $8,500 on imported models. Executives remain split on how much relief exemptions will bring, with some seeing a temporary lifeline and others warning that unpredictable swings in policy are more damaging than the tariffs themselves. The immediate squeeze on automakers reveals how quickly national trade decisions ripple down to global companies. A supply chain built over decades cannot be rebuilt overnight. For consumers, 3 factors will define the road forward: where critical parts are sourced, which trade deals are locked in, and how fast domestic infrastructure can grow to close the gap. If those factors align, prices may cool and availability could improve. If they do not, the industry will see trims disappear, waiting lists return, and creeping costs push more buyers away. Will buyers be willing to shoulder higher prices, or could demand falter as the economy cools? And as Washington redraws the rules, will global partners stay aligned, or are trade wars about to shift into another gear?
Meanwhile, small and medium businesses are already considering moving operations elsewhere. Yes, automation and AI can cover certain areas, but humans are still needed to drive progress. And more importantly, to enjoy the benefits of that progress. Robots can't do that. So, will President Trump eventually be forced to relax visa policies if America can't fill the critical roles of domestically? If not, which other country is going to come over here where America is treating their talents like this?